My wife passed 2 years ago from heart failure, and I have been raising our daughter Bree by myself ever since. My mother-in-law was standing in my kitchen like she owned the place while Bree was upstairs doing homework. She got right up in my face close enough that I could see the vein pulsing in her forehead. I want full custody of Bree. You were never good enough for my daughter, and you're not good enough to raise hers. Over my dead body. Her lips curled into this awful smile, and she pulled out my wife's old phone. Give her to me, or I show Bree what you really are. You have until tomorrow. I grabbed her arm and pulled her toward the front door. She yanked away and laughed right in my face. You really think you're in control here? I have everything I need on this phone, and I've been waiting years for this moment. Get out of my house. She walked out still laughing. I sprinted upstairs and threw open Bree's door. She was sitting on her bed with her phone clutched in her hands and tears streaming down her face. I was too late. Bree, whatever Grandma sent you is a lie. She looked up at me, and I barely recognized my own daughter. Her eyes were filled with pure hatred. Mom was begging you to take her to the hospital, and you told her she was being dramatic. You let her go. I pulled out my phone. Those texts are cropped. Look at the full message right now. She threw her phone across the room so hard it cracked against the wall. Grandma told me you would try to lie your way out of this. She said you've been manipulating me my whole life. I felt sick because I realized Grandma had been poisoning my daughter against me for years. Bree shoved past me and locked herself in the bathroom. I pressed my forehead against that cold door. Bree, please just look at the real texts. Grandma is coming to get me tomorrow, and I'm going with her. I never want to see you again. I ran to my room and grabbed the hospital records from my desk, then slid them under the bathroom door. I sat down against the wall, and I was not moving until she read them. Hours passed. When the door finally cracked open, it was dark outside. Bree looked down at me with swollen eyes and dropped the papers on my lap. One page was folded at the corner to mark page 3. She walked to her room without a word. When I woke up, there was a note under my door. I need you to walk me through everything before Grandma gets here. I walk downstairs, and Bree is sitting at the kitchen table with her phone in front of her. Show me everything. I sit down and pull out my phone. She shows me what Grandma sent. The screenshot shows my reply cropped to only say, "You're being dramatic." I open my text thread and put my phone next to hers. The full text says, "You're being dramatic, but I don't care. I'm taking you to the ER right now. Get your coat." Bree stares at both screens. She cut it off on purpose. I scroll down to show her text after text of me begging her mom to stay awake while I drove. I slide the hospital records across the table. Her voice cracks as she reads page 3 out loud. Cause of death, congenital heart defect, undiagnosed. Bree looks up at me with tears running down her face. She planned this whole thing just to take me away from you. Right then, tires screech into the driveway. The front door slams open. Grandma storms in. Bree, get your things. Your room at my house is already set up. Bree does not move. I saw the real texts. I'm not going anywhere with you. Grandma's face twists with rage. Whatever he showed you is fake. Bree stands up. You cropped the texts. You kept Mom's phone for 2 years just so you could do this. I step forward. We're done here. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. Grandma lunges toward Bree and grabs her arm. You're coming with me right now. I pull Bree behind me and tell Grandma if she touches my daughter again, I'm calling the police. She backs off, but she's screaming that this isn't over as I push her out the front door. I file for a restraining order the next morning, and Grandma shows up to court to contest it. The judge reviews the cropped texts next to the originals and the hospital records. He looks at Grandma and says the order is granted effective immediately. Grandma stands up and starts screaming that I stole her granddaughter and that she deserves Bree more than I ever could. Security has to drag her out of the courtroom while she's still screaming. Bree squeezes my hand as we watch them take her away. She looks up at me and says, "Let's go home, Dad."